Welcome to the 2 best days of your life. When you buy your boat and when you sell your boat. Our job is to make all the days in between better.
All right. So you've got the boat, everything's happened, you've done your budgeting, now you're about to head out. You've got to know how to drive the boat. You've got to know how to navigate the boat, and not just on yourself, but the boat itself. So this is something I know a little bit about. The most important thing is safety.
It really is.
You know, it's really dangerous out there in any conditions. Mother Nature is unforgiving. So get yourself some training. Know what you're doing. The Coast Guard requires here in California Boaters Card. Get it. Don't just get it, understand it.
Yeah.
You know, it's very broad, but it's a start.
And there's a myriad of resources for all of us.
Yes.
There are online training programs here in the Bay Area. We have local classroom time you can get. Both Tim and I have been hired to teach people how to operate their boats. I've done inspections. I know that you have too, for people. Like, what do you recommend?
Yep.
You know.
And there's a few things with recommending that you must have. Like, you've got to have the rules of the road on board. You must have the correct life jackets, one per person, the correct size. You've got to have, flares are not necessary if you're inside, but offshore they're required. These are things that you need to educate yourself about for your boat in your area as well.
And all these rules are written down. We could go over them for days. The
Yeah.
CFR 46, I think it is.
Yeah.
And
the collision regulations cover everything world over.
yes.
You don't need to know every part of the collision regulations, but you do need to know the bits that specify to your personal boat in your area that you're going to use.
And it's, and depending on the size of your boat and the size of your crew, your knowledge base can be extensive. You bought this boat, this is your third boat, you know what you're doing. You've done some offshore traveling. How's your crew?
Yeah.
Where do you put them? So you want to, when you're docking the boat, you want to put your crew in places where you can help them best and know their skill levels. You have to know their skill levels. I said, so you know what you're doing? Oh yeah, I've done this lots before. And then I watch them like, okay, your idea of knowing it, my idea are two different things.
And you as the captain, this is one thing that I specify when I teach. As the captain, you're in charge. So you have to delegate everyone to their level.
Yes.
So if you have some man overboard, do a man overboard drill. Do it with your friends. It's fun. Make it entertaining. But the thing that you have to know is, if nobody else knows, how are you going to do that man overboard drill? Delegate. Know where your first aid kit is. Know how to get them on board. If you're on a 70-foot yacht and it's 8 foot to the gunnel, how are you going to get them on board? Yeah.
What is your plan? Have a plan.
Have a plan. Be prepared.
And discuss the plan with your crew.
Yeah.
It always comes back to all of these topics start to link together.
Yes.
Maintenance links into safety.
Yep.
Because it's not just the engines, it's also the safety equipment. Where's your first aid kit?
So here's a good one as captain, which I recommend everybody do a briefing before you leave, for your sake as well. So you'll go, hey guys, we're about to go out. Life jackets are here. Do this to the toilet. You can make it as big and expansive as you want. But when you do that briefing yourself, telling other people, you're reminding yourself of what has to be done, so you then can delegate in the event of an emergency, because panic's a killer. And if you're not educated and you don't know your boat well enough, it can get real dangerous when it doesn't have to be.
And then what do you do if you're the casualty?
Right.
What if you're hurt?
Right. So if you got your best mate, just show him how to stop the boat.
Yeah. Make sure someone knows a little bit.
Yes.
How to use the radio.
Yes. Yeah.
There are small things that would make a tremendous difference in a bad environment.
Yeah. Have a placard, which you must have on boats, but have a little cheat sheet on the helm saying, hey guys, if something happens, here's my cheat sheet. Call the Coast Guard on this number. They'll explain what to do.
Yep, and they can. They'll talk you through it. We've all seen it in the movies with the plane coming in for the crash landing.
But that's your responsibility to educate people.
Yeah. Key piece of safety equipment that's always forgotten, the anchor.
Yes.
Be able to stop the boat, secure the boat,
Because if something goes wrong, there's no brakes on a boat except the anchor. But then you also need to know if it's the depth of the water, whether you can, and if not, do you put a drogue out? This is your level of education.
Yeah.
Don't head out offshore in the very first time.
Yeah. Learn. Take a class.
Yep.
Talk to a friend of yours. We all know someone that's that guy.
You've bought a boat, you've spent all this money on the boat, the decals, the fishing gear. Hire a professional to teach you how to drive your boat as they would. That's what they do for a living. Pick their brains, pay a few $100 or a few $1,000, get yourself educated on your boat.
And you'll enjoy it more.
Absolutely.
And we hope this has made your time on the water better. See you again next time.